Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. We're very excited to bring this topic to you. How to become a listing machine, working FSBOs and expireds to get them.
Oh, sorry, I gotta switch over to the other slides, Jewel.
That's okay.
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
To get the most from today's webinar, we want you to take really good notes. We want you to use that Q&A panel there that we just talked about to ask any questions that you'd like. Like I said, we're going to take a lot of questions at the end, and we're going to stay for about 30 minutes after. If you want to reach us at any time after today's webinar, you can reach us on all social media platforms at Darryl Speaks. Darryl is the author of 3 books, all published by McGraw-Hill Publishers. That first one you see there, How to Become a Power Agent in Real Estate, is actually the #1 selling book to real estate agents on Amazon. Darryl was named one of the top 2020 influencers and thought leaders by Risk Media Magazine.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. He's also the recipient of the coveted CSP award, which is only given to less than 2% of speakers worldwide. On that note, Darryl, I'm going to let you take it away because I know you have a lot to share today.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. The little voice in the background there. So welcome, everybody. I'm very excited that you're here. We're going to cover a couple more things before I get into the content. So one of the questions I want to address right up front is this webinar a sales pitch? Because we always get that, and I just want people to understand, no, it's not, okay? This is loaded with content. But just for the sake of being transparent, because some people asked on the chat, like, what's a power agent? Because we're seeing a lot of power agent activity. Power agents, this webinar that we're doing is every Wednesday, specifically for the agents who are in our membership, and they're called power agents. So some of you are on this call are guests, and we so welcome you. And you're going to get a tremendous amount of value. But the reason why I'm saying that up front is because from time to time, I'm going to speak directly to power agents to point something out. And that'll just take a few seconds. But again, loaded with content. If you're not a power agent, there's that website on the screen there called Trial. So there's a tremendous amount of benefits and gifts. If you want to join the power agent family, just do a broad strokes on what that is up front real quick. The value of the membership is like $197 a month because it's a coaching program, okay? And it's how to list and sell real estate. And even if you're an experienced agent, tremendous amount of value in that. But because of the COVID-19, we've locked down the price to make it easier for people at the $47. But if you're a guest and you want to kick the tires totally unrestricted, you can actually get in at $5 today, so which is pretty awesome. You'll have complete access to the website. You'll have a tremendous amount of bonuses, which I'll explain at the end, they're like incredible. And you get to keep if you decide to quit after the trial, and you can cancel anytime. So you're not locked in for a year contract or anything like that. Now, with that said, I do want to talk to the power agents for 60 seconds, and then we're going to get into this content. So power agents, we just launched a couple of things I want to make you aware of. One of them is the team's been working really hard, and we now are going to be sending you every Monday a weekly calendar with, all right, here's your tips and things to do for the week. So look out for that. So every Monday morning, you're going to get that. And I'm not going to go through how to fill out the form. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll talk about it on our calls too. The other thing is power agents, in the Facebook closed group, this is something that just got posted from Lillian. She's looking for a referral in North Carolina. She's got a buyer that's looking to buy a military. They're going to Camp Lejeune. I can't say that, Camp Lejeune. No. Lejeune? Okay, good. So I'm sorry about that. In North Carolina. Now, so the reason why I'm pointing that out, power agents, because we just launched this week for you the Power Agent Directory. And this is where you can really start to network and get referrals to everybody. This is all included in the membership. We just keep adding stuff and we don't raise the price, which I've been told is not the best business thing, but this is what we do. We just want to keep giving to you guys, keep improving. You're going to notice in the directory on this screenshot that there's a lot of power logos and only a few faces because we just launched it this week. You need to go in at the top, it says update my profile. When you click on that, you'll be able to add your photo, add your website, add your little bio about yourself. So Power Agents, if you have not done that yet, please do that right away, because I don't want you to miss out on referrals like the one I just showed. Okay, so now we're going to get into the content. And for those of you that are guests especially, I just want to explain how I train every week. There's two types of ways to do a webinar. Going wide, which is you cover a general topic and you touch upon a bunch of little things. Like one of the webinars I'm going to be doing in 2 weeks is like after the election, now what do we do? How to plan for 2021. So it'll be a business planning. And I'm going to cover a little bit of things of real estate, right? But there's some webinars, which is what this one is today, where we're going to go deep. All right. So we're going to focus on the one topic of FSBOs and expireds, right? And so here's the 4 main things we're going to touch upon and cover. And here's well, let me just get into it. The first one is you got to get super organized. And the reason why you want to, and I'm giving you an overview of what I'm going to teach you. Okay. And then I'm going to start going into the specifics. So getting super organized. If you're going to build your business with FSBOs and expireds, for some of you on this call, probably a lot of you, the whole idea of calling FSBOs and working expireds can be a little intimidating and a little, there might be some fear there. It's important to overcoming that fear and having a breakthrough in this, that you remove any obstacles that will drain you. So I'm going to give you some ideas on how to get super organized and empowered and excited about working FSBOs and expireds. The second thing is mastering the telephone. Now, there's other ways to work FSBOs and expireds as far as doing mailings and door knocking and all that other stuff. But the quickest, most effective is the telephone. So I'm going to invite you to look at that, okay? The third is improving the listing conversation, because when you get the appointment, you need to do that. Now, let me just clarify something with you. This number 3, that by itself is a whole hour. And we're not going to cover number 3 today, because to teach from the moment you ring the doorbell to signing the listing and handling objections, like that's one in of itself. Power Agents, we have that for you. As a matter of fact, Julia, is that the webinar? Yes, next week I'm going to cover number 3. Yeah, next, and it's going to be how to do a virtual one, because that'll cover everything. Like even if you take what I teach next week on the virtual, you can still do it face to face, right? And then the last thing is you need to have a support structure to stay focused, because part of creating mastering FSBOs and expireds is creating a good habit on doing it on a regular, consistent basis. And so you need that support to help you stay focused to create that good habit. Okay. So let's talk about getting super organized. So I'm going to get into like some motivational stuff right now to help you stay focused on this. Now, talking to the Power Agents just for a second, everything I'm about to teach Power Agents, you're going to find it in the time and money management section of the Power Program website. So let's go to that. One of the things I'm going to suggest that you do is Power Agents have printed this listing inventory chart out. For guests on the call, if you don't become Power Agent today, you can create your own chart like this. It's very simple. And the purpose of this chart is, and one of the mistakes I think that we make as real estate professionals is thinking about getting listings. Like, how many listings did you get this month? You'll notice anytime that I do the coaching calls on Monday, Power Agents, I don't ask, how many listings did you get this week or this month? I ask, how many listings do you currently have? Because in real estate, it's like anything else. One of the analogies I like to use is like if you had a shoe store, what do you need? What's your inventory? Shoes. If you owned a car dealership, what's the inventory? Cars. And if you don't have cars, you have no inventory, you have a parking lot. So in real estate, our inventory is our listings. And if you have no listings, you have an empty business. So what I want you to think, not getting listings, but building and maintaining inventory. So for example, if let's say it was January and you happen to have 6 listings, and 4 of those went into contract, wow, that'd be a great way to start off the new year, right? 4 listings sell in January. Wow, that's awesome. What do we usually do? We usually take our foot off the gas. We might even start counting our money. What are we going to buy when these things close? And we pull back our activity. But if you look at the chart, what just happened to your store, your business, your car dealership, and the inventory is way down. If the inventory is way down, here's what happens after the closings. You're going to have your income, your cash flow is going to go down in sync with this chart. So even though 4 listings selling in January is pretty awesome, you should react this way. Wow, that's great, but wait a second, I got a problem. If I don't restock my shelves, if I don't put my inventory back, I'm going to have a problem with cash flow. So what you want to do, if let's say you've got 2 listings, you want to get it up to 4, or get it up to, what's this analogy, 5, you want to get 3 more. So this is what I want your chart to look like in 2021. Having a listing inventory chart, hanging that up will help you stay focused and motivated on this concept. You know, one of our big power agents, Charles Mayone, he's just kicking it. He started as a new agent with us. His income is over $300,000 a year with Douglas Elliman, Long Island, top agent. He's been the top listing agent for the past 4 months now in his office. He's just kicking it. He understands how important inventory is. Another thing to do to stay organized is to maybe schedule out your day. All right. Now, I got to be honest with you. I am not a fan of this, but I know some people need this. So we created it. One of our power agents had asked, oh gosh, his name is escaping me right now. But he said on one of the coaching calls, said, Darryl, can you tell me just what to do every day? All right. So we created this for him from a concept standpoint. Obviously, you put in your specific task, but here's something I want you to notice is that from 9 to 10:30, it says prospect, and 2:30 to 4:30, it says prospect. Now, what's really good about this is sometimes a schedule holds you accountable to blocking out that time to do that activity. And I'll real quick, I'll distinguish what's now business versus future business. When we do the business planning webinar in a couple of weeks, I'll explain it more. Now business are things that you can do to get a listing like today, right? So doing a mailing is not going to get you a listing today. Calling a FSBO could get you a listing today. Calling an expired can get you a listing today. Future business is social media, chatting with people in groups, helping them, doing mailings. You're planting seeds, you're farming. So we're going to focus on the now business today. Here's another thing to get super organized to empower you. Something that I created over 30 years ago. It is one of the best tools that power agents absolutely who use this love this, okay? And again, power agents on the call, I'm reminding you, I'm going to show you like this over here that's on the screen right now. That is in the time management chapter. But let me go back to Mary Crawford. So Mary, she put up the dot board. This is a screenshot of actually hers, and she's partners with Joanne. And she said she's done more business this year than she did 3 years combined. And she said it was because of the dot board. Now, I want to explain how the dot board works. So here's a little sample. It's very simple. You don't want to add things to it. You don't want to muddy it. It's just 3 columns, listings, sold, sales. And here's how it goes. If let's say you go on a listing appointment and you get a listing, bada bing, you put a dot up on the board. I talked about this. I was on a lab code yesterday. We were talking about how to gamify your business, how important that is. Real estate can be stressful. Money can be concerned. Like it could be this is a business. And part of what we need to do for some of us is to add some fun to it. Because let me tell you something, if you want energy and enthusiasm in your life, having fun with your business will empower you to get more energy, right? It's hard to have energy when you're not happy with what you're doing. So anyway, gamifying the business. Just this stupid little thing by putting a dot up on the board, say, hey, I got a listing. I want to get another one. That was fun. Bada bing, I got another listing. There's another dot. And you just keep putting dots up. Now I'm going to tell you something. Power is like, I need some dots. It's not looking very good. It's March and this is my board, not good. All right, so let's continue. Let's say you take a buyer out, you show them your listing and they buy it. You get 2 dots, one for the listing sold, one for the sales. The power of the dot board, let me go back, is I'm going to go to Mary's because Mary's is totally filled out. So let me go back there. So you will see, here's the other powerful thing about the dot board. It does two things. Number one is it gamifies, so three things. Number one, it gamifies your business. Number two is it helps you stay focused. But number three, what's really awesome about this chart, I don't have to go into doing a whole sales report and go into QuickBooks and figure out cash flow, I can simply look at this dot board and I can tell you, for example, Joanne and Mary, they kind of took a break in March. Look at that. They just got a couple of things. April and May, they were really starting to kick on the listings. And you'll notice in September and October, they started having listing sales for all the things they got in May and June. So this really gives you an incredible overview of your business at any one given time. I have an extra tip for you guys because we're coming to the end of the year. What I recommend that you do is get the dot board, put it in place, and put up in yellow colored dots all of the dots, all the production you did this year. Next year, starting January, use the same board, but now go to a darker, brighter color, maybe a blue or a hot red, and you can compare 2021 to 2020, and that could be a motivator to help you stay focused. There's an extra little tip on how to really use this dot board. Let's go on to another thing to help you stay organized. We're talking about FSBOs and expireds today, but one of the things that might help you too is to also gamify, is to create an activity chart like this. Power Agents, you have to create it. We created it for you. And put on the left side all the different ideas and on how you can generate listing appointments, right? Everything that can possibly generate a listing appointment. Some of it will be future business, some of it will be now business. And the game is that every day that you want to do at least one or two of the items. So if you're ever sitting in your office and you're not feeling like calling a FSBO or expired, but man, you like to do a little something to get your inventory up, anything will move the needle. You look at the chart, you pick something that you can do, and you check it off. So there's another little tip for you to help you stay organized. This one is my favorite, one of my favorites, and that is REDX. And the reason why REDX is one of my favorites is because, okay, I'm going to go off my webinar here and just talk from my heart. I feel like when something falls on my heart, I'm supposed to say it. So this just fell on my heart. One of the books that I wrote, because I've written 3 for McGraw-Hill Publishing. The last one was purely motivation. It was on designing a life worth smiling about. And when I wrote that book, it's actually based in the science. And so I did a tremendous amount of research, took over a year and a half to write this book. One of the things that I learned in my research was that if you want to create a habit doing something, and you don't want to do it, you've got to remove the speed bumps because it'll slow you down if you don't. So as an example, if you're driving a car going 30 miles an hour and you hit a speed bump, and if you don't touch the gas, you go immediately from 30 miles down to like 15, right? And what happens is the speed bump sucks the energy out of the engine. You can actually see it if you had the equipment. You could see the energy getting sucked out of the car into the speed bump. So the speed bump sucks the energy out of the car. Okay. The same concept, if you say, okay, I'm going to start prospecting, I'm going to build my inventory, and you go into the office, and you have to now, okay, I got to find my leads. How do I find leads? Oh, let me go online and I'm going to go search FSBO.com and buyowner.com. And I'm going to pull these down and I'm going to reverse them and write notes. Okay. Like all of that speed bumps, slowing you down. And now you're ready to make your calls. You're already exhausted. You're like driving not at 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. You're like at 10 miles an hour. And now you're going to try and make your calls. And you're like, let me go get some coffee. And then you don't do anything all day. So now what you need to do, if you want to create a habit on something that you don't want to do, remove the speed bumps. And finding FSBOs expireds is speed bumps. Imagine if you went into the office or your home office, wherever, and I'm there next to you. That would be creepy. But let's say I say, hey, Mary or John, listen, here's all the FSBOs for today. I did all the research for you. I put it all together. Bada bing, here you go. What do you have to do now? There's only one thing you have to do is just make the calls. Yes? Okay. That's what RedX does. RedX on a silver platter gives you the leads. Now, let me show you. Where's my clicker? When you log into the account, there's your leads. I'm not going to teach RedX right now. What I'm saying is you click on one of them, there you go. There's the photo, the phone number, the address, the email. There's all the contact information for that one person. And now you call them. That's it. And you can get, there's another screenshot of it. This is using the storm dialer process that they have. I'm not going to get into the storm dialer. It's another, it'll call for you. And then it connects you on your phone and you start talking, okay? This, to me, is an essential thing to have a breakthrough in FSBOs expires. Now, I have a gift for you guys, power agents and the guests, too. What I did, because I love this company so much, because this is my specialty, FSBO expire, I negotiated a deal for our students. Now, you see this on the screen. Don't share this with anybody. It's just for you guys on the, I'm serious. Don't, if you're not on the webinar, people don't tell them about this. Go to darrylspecial.com, not now, and type in the word SMILE, all capital letters, and you can get the setup fee waived. You get 30 days free. It's awesome. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. So that's getting super organized. Power agents, we have all this for you. Okay. Next thing, let's talk about mastering the telephone. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time on this because I'm going to actually go through the dialogue line by line, okay? One of our power agents, John Cadolfo, he's made $323,000 a second year real estate because of what I'm about to show you right now, okay? So let's get into this. One of the things I'm going to recommend you do along with being organized is when you block out your time to make your calls, put up a little do not disturb sign. Now, the do not disturb sign in your household or in your office, so that way you block out distractions. You know, we created a few for power agents like this one here. I'm planting seeds of success. I like that one. Listen, if you work out of your house and your spouse is upset with you because you're working too much, yeah, do this. Take their picture and put it in a frame and say, listen, don't disturb. I'm prospecting for you. You'll maybe earn some points, get back into their good graces. But you better produce something because they're like, all right, yeah, show me the money, right? Okay. Now, the other thing, let me go back to seriously about posting the sign. The thing about posting the sign, what's also good about you posting the sign is not only you having distractions get out of your way, but it's good for you. There's something psychologically about, taking the thing, putting a sign up and saying, the sign's almost telling you, all right, Darryl, you're blocking out. This is your time to pick up the phone and dial for dollars, make it rain. So it actually is a bit of a motivator for you. Now, can you call a FSBO and expire that's on the do not call list? And I know my New Yorkers on the call, because somebody wrote this on the chat. New York is in a state of emergency, and the governor said in the state of emergency can't do unsolicited telephone calls, even if they're not on the do not call. You can't do unsolicited calls, is New York. So I'm going to address both. Now, before I do, I want to share something with you for those of you that don't know this about me. So I've been training agents now for 30 years. I've trained tens of thousands. But when I was an agent, when I started real estate, I built my business calling FSBOs and expires. I am so good at this. When I do live seminars, which I haven't done this year since March, I actually call real FSBOs live from the stage. I pipe it through the speakers, and everybody hears it. Now, if I call 3 FSBOs, I'll get 2 appointments. I'm really good at it. I like to think there ain't nobody better than me. And it's partly because I learned it in New York. New York FSBOs, they're really tough. They curse at you, they hang up, and then you got to call them back, say, I'm sorry, we got disconnected. So I got really strong because I called the toughest in the country. Now, anyway, here's the point I'm sharing this. What I'm going to share with you is because I'm good at I have researched it. I'm kind of a master at this, okay? But here's my disclaimer. You have to do whatever your broker says to do. So what I'm about to say, don't get twisted. Like if you totally disagree, then that's fine. Disagree with me. But I'm talking from experience. But you must do what your broker says to do. It goes like this. It goes from God to Department of Licensing, to your broker, then to you. Okay, and maybe I'm in there after the broker. Now, you'll notice one thing, though. There's nothing about the boards of realtors. The boards of realtors take a very conservative approach to it because they don't want to create a political hand grenade and have a blow up on them. So they'll tell you, don't call FSBOs. Let me show you the do not call list. It says that no telemarketer may make any unsolicited telemarketing sales calls to any customers when the customer's telephone number is on the national do not call list. Okay, so you can't make an unsolicited call to somebody who's on the do not call list. They actually define what unsolicited is. An unsolicited telemarketing call means any telemarketing call other than in response to an express written or verbal request. So there's the key, gang. A FSBO is actually in written, they're expressing in writing, in their publication, in their ad, whatever, I'm selling my house, call me. Therefore, calling a FSBO is not unsolicited because the FSBO is soliciting telephone calls. So therefore, you can absolutely call somebody who's on the do not call list if they're a FSBO. Again, do what your broker says to do, but in the absence of there being a rule, that is absolutely. And again, the associations may say something different. That's your choice. Okay. Now, one other thing, expireds, you do have a prior relationship with them through the MLS system, which makes it like easy to call them because it's, again, because it goes on to say if you had a prior relationship within 18 months and well, you do with expired. So that's easy too. One last thing, New Yorkers. State of emergency, you can't make unsolicited calls. Once again, same thing applies. A FSBO is not unsolicited. They said, hey, I'm selling my house, call me. So we're like responding. So there you go. When you think about it, the FSBO started it, not us. Okay, let's move off this now. Now, gang, if you want to, don't do what you want. I'm just giving my opinion. Okay, but it's an educated opinion. All right, concepts to work in FSBOs. Let's do this. So first of all, you may not get the FSBO the first time you call them, okay? So be aware of that. You need to be comfortable with the fact that you may have to work the FSBO. So that's totally fine. The second thing is when they tell you they have a buyer interested in their house, that may not be true. So ignore it. When you're calling, and some of you may want to jot this down, this little extra thing here. When you're calling FSBOs, the objective is for you to see if you can help them and get in the door. Okay, get in the door so you can see if you can help them. Don't do listing appointments on the telephone. Don't talk commission on the telephone. Just get in the door is what your end result that you want to do. Because when you get in the door, whether it's in person or virtually, that's when you can start getting into specifics with them. And I'm going to demonstrate the dialogue in a second for you. There is no right time to call. People always ask me, Darryl, when should I call? The right time to call is the time you're going to call. Yeah, because you got to get in the habit of doing it. So some of you may want to do it in the morning because before you do anything, because if you start doing something, you may not really do it. So first thing, some of you say, you know what? I don't need that kind of accountability. I want to do it at night when people are home. That's fine too. Whatever works for you. Get past the 60-second hump, and that's key. I talked about this on one of our coaching calls. Excuse me while I just do a little something here. Okay, so one of the questions was that we always get is should you make the call quick or should you? No. Get past the 60-second hump. Most for sale by owners are really tough in the first 60 seconds, but after 60 seconds, they're very nice. Okay, so we'll show you that too. And don't focus on that little voice inside your head. The little voice inside your head that's like, oh, I hate doing this. Anything that's holding you back in your head, the best way to overcome that is to focus on the person you're talking to. You cannot be in your head and be out there talking to them at the same time. So you're either in your head or you're focused on the homeowner. And what you want to do is focus on the homeowner during that call. Okay, don't worry about doing it the right way. Accept that you may mess up. It's okay. All right. The other thing is give yourself permission to fail. This is key. Listen, part of what stresses you out, hang on. For some of you, part of what stresses you out is that you're making a call and you put so much pressure to do it the right way out the gate. And that's why, you're afraid. If you give yourself permission to make mistakes, that fear and concern will go away a little bit. That's number one. Here's the second thing I want to tell you, because I don't know if this is even my slides, but this is really crucial what I'm going to say. So if you stop paying attention, pay attention now. If I was sitting across from you and I asked you the question, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go like this. Give me a second. I just want you to see me because I want you to really hear what I'm saying. If I were sitting across from you and I asked you, when you call for sale by owner, what should you be committed to accomplishing? And probably what you would say to me, which every time I've asked this question in a live audience, it's always the same thing. What I should be committed to is getting the appointment. And that's wrong. That's part of the mistake that you're feeling. See, if you have the focus be on you getting the appointment, watch what you're doing with that. Number one is, who is it about? The call. It's about you. It's about you winning. Number two is you've set up a win-lose scenario. If you got the appointment, you won. If you didn't, you failed. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. And that's what makes you nervous. So what I want you to do is not be committed to getting the appointment. What I want you to be committed to when you're calling the for sale by owner is building a relationship with another human being. Now, let me tell you what now happens. Number one, who's the call about? It's about them. Number two, to build a relationship with any human being, what do you have to do? You've got to ask questions. You've got to care more about them than about yourself. You're taking the focus off of you. You're putting it onto them. And the last thing is, whether you got the appointment or not, you won. You just set up a win-win scenario because it wasn't about getting the appointment. It was about building a relationship with another human being. And here's the real kicker of it all. If you build a relationship with another human being on the telephone and that person is a FSBO, the appointment will happen by itself. You won't have to close them. You will get the appointment if you built that trust and they like you. All right, let's go back to the slides over here. I hope that helped some of you. That was a little extra material. Number 7 is make sure that decision makers are both home when you're going to have this conversation with them, because if you're going to leave with the listing, you're going to have to get both of those signatures. Make sure you have enough time to do the entire listing conversation, however much time that you need. Like I said, gang, we don't have the time to go deep on making the calls plus the listing appointment. We're going to cover the listing appointment power agents next week. And plus I recorded other, I've done that already, and it's already in the Power Program website for you. I'll show you in a second. I'll show you later at the end of the call. Okay, let's talk about the Magic Dialogue. One of our power agents from Howard Hanna, Carmen, using the dialogue, she actually got 5 listings in 1 week with FSBOs, which is really obviously off the hook awesome. So we're going to go through the dialogue now. Power agents, when you go to the website and you go to prospecting, you're going to see tons of dialogue. You're going to vacant property, book of business, orphan dialogue, for rent by owners. There's so much dialogue, door knocking. We're focusing just on the FSBO dialogue right now and the voicemail that you leave for a FSBO if they don't pick up. So let's go this line by line. Here we go, gang. So first of all, you're going to go like this. Ring, ring. You're going to say, hi, I'm calling about the house for sale. And they'll say, yes. And then you say, is the house still available? And they'll say, yes, it is. So that's the first part you're going to do. Very important not to deviate from that. Now, let me tell you why, because let's just stick with this for a second. Let's say you call it for sale by owner. Oh, it's 12:30. We got to get going. Julie, how are we doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah, I looked at the time. I think I need 2 hours today. I'm like,
so got a lot to cover.
Let me see. Yeah, I still have a lot to cover. Let's speed this up. Okay, so if you were to call it for sale by owner and say, hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? They're going to say, hold on a second. Dad, a realtor's on the phone, right? So you don't want that to happen. So what you do is, hi, I'm calling about the house for sale. They go, yes. What is that? Now I know right now I'm talking to the homeowner. If they say yes, is the house still available? Well, yes, it is. The reason why you ask that question is because FSBOs have their own training course created by a Frenchman in the 19th century. His name was Jacques FSBO. And Jacques teaches if you want to get rid of a real estate agent, when they call, you say the house is already sold. So this is why you say, is the house still available? And they say, yes, it is. You say, well, hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? And they'll go, fine. Say, well, the reason why I'm calling is I noticed your ad or your sign or whatever, and I was wondering, are you work with brokers to sell your property? It's very possible that they'll say something like, yes, bring me a buyer, and I'll pay you a selling commission or something like that. If they say that, just, oh, that's great, and continue now on the next part in a second. Don't schedule the appointment because we want to build that relationship on the phone. If they tell you, yes, we're working with a broker, also you want to clarify it. If they didn't clarify it in their answer, do you currently have it listed? Because sometimes that happens. There might be a crossover from their ad and they listed already with somebody like last night or the day before. If they say, no, I'm not working with a broker, so you are trying to sell it on your own, yes, we are. Now, if they're really nasty, you can go, I'm curious, is that because you want to save the brokerage fee? So there's the beginning of the dialogue. Hi, I'm calling about the house for sale. Yes, it's still available. Hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? Fine. The reason why I was calling is I noticed your ad in the paper. I was wondering, are you working with brokers to sell your property? Say, no, we're not. So you are trying to do it on your own? Yes, we are. Now you're going to go to the next part. Well, I'm looking at a copy of the listing, and it's very nice. By the way, it sounds lovely. Did you write this yourself? There's a little icebreaker there. Yes, I wrote it myself, or I copied it off of another FSBO ad. Say, now, at this point, once you say that, you'll see, what does it say? Step 4 is you want to build that relationship with them, right? So you build a relationship, and you're going to ask questions about the house, just like any buyer would ask. How many bedrooms? How many baths? Is it finished? Et cetera, et cetera. Now, so there's the current questions, the questions about the current home that they're living in that they're trying to sell, right? How many bedrooms, property size, blah, blah, blah. So use the ad. There's no right dialogue or script now. Use the ad to see what's missing and have them embellish on it. We're building a relationship. Now, if you get really good at this, at some point, you want to transition to the next set of questions, which is their commitment. Why are they selling? Because this is key. If you can start doing this with them, man, getting an appointment will be a slam dunk. Well, I'm curious, where are you folks? Where are you planning on moving to? What do you like best about the area you're moving to? And just make it conversational. Don't ask all these questions. Don't maybe ask them in this order because you'll sound like, an interrogator. Don't do that. It's a conversation. You want to get a sense of where they're moving to, why they're, when they need to get there by, and then you go for the appointment. And you can mix and match these. If you got somebody who's really nice, you say, Mister, would you be offended if I just stopped by to take a look at your house? I'm going to tell you something, gang. If you get really good at building rapport with the people in that step 4 and asking them questions, and when you feel like there's an opening, would you be offended if I just stopped by to see it? What are they going to say? They say, yeah, yes, I would be offended. They're not going to say. They're going to say, no, you can come on over. If you got somebody who's a little tougher, you say, let me ask you, the reason why you're trying to sell your own is save the commission. Is that right? Well, let me ask you this, Hannah, if I can help you get to Florida with the monies you need to make a move a success, and you wouldn't have to pay a brokerage fee out of the monies you needed, would that be of interest to you? And they say, yes. Well, it is possible to do that, but first I need to see the house. So number 2 is really kind of for more the tougher first sale by owner. And the other way of saying that, let me ask you this. If I had a buyer who was willing to pay your price and pay my commission, could we work together? It is possible in cases to do that, but first I need to see the house. Now, gang, I know I'm going over even though we're going deep on this dialogue, you're probably still going to have some questions I'm going to share how to get a copy of this whole entire webinar in a minute, okay? So hang in there. We'll talk about that. So you can watch the recording over and over again. And power agents, we can role play on the Monday coaching call when you start making the calls. So I'll be there for you on that. If you get a voicemail, this is the best dialogue to use, and that is, hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. The reason why I was calling is I noticed you're selling your house, and I have some important information about that. As a matter of fact, I might even have somebody who could be interested, but first I need to get some important information. So if you can, please call me back. Now, I'll tell you this messaging. We have power agents tell me they get phone calls, return calls about 50% of the time. There's a lot of psychology and science behind this dialogue that we create, and that's why it's so effective. Let's talk about old FSBO dialogue. I'm not going to get into this too much because it's very similar. There's only one difference. And what I mean by old FSBO, these are people who tried selling 6 months ago. They weren't successful. They're not currently advertising. You know, if you get the RedX system, you can get all those old FSBOs. But basically, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, here it is. Hi, I'm looking for so-and-so. Hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. The reason I'm calling is I reckon show you tried selling your home about 3 months ago. Is that correct? And they'll say, yes. Well, the reason why I ask is because we did sell a lot of homes during that same time. You know, the market's really hot. I'm sure you've heard about that. Those homes have. So I'm just curious, are you folks still planning on moving? Where were you thinking of moving to? And so I'll start that dialogue to try and breathe life back into this for sale by owner. And then when it comes time to ask her for the appointment, let me ask you a question. Was the reason why you were trying to sell it on your own was to save the commission? And if they say yes or no, well, let me ask you, if I can help you get to Florida. By the way, I always shout out to Florida because I'm from New York and most FSBOs move from New York to Florida. So that's why I use Florida. If I can help you get to Florida and you wouldn't have to pay a fee out of the monies you needed to make the move a success, is that something you'd be interested in? It is possible some cases to do the person need to see the house. Here's another way of saying it. Number 4, if it made financial sense, would you reconsider moving to Florida? I know you didn't sell, but now would you consider market's really hot right now? The last one, why don't we do this? I don't mind. Why don't we find the time when we get together? You can show me your house. I can tell you how much the house is worth today's market. See if I can help you get to Florida. So there's several ways to do that. Let's talk about the expired. So the expired, here's the mind of the expired. They may feel rejected. By the way, let me just put a button on the, let me go back for a second with the FSBO. So I just threw a lot at you, and I'm going to tell you something. You'll start to, there's the foundation of calling the for sale by owners using our winning dialogue that works incredibly well. But when you start to, you've got to start to use it to really adapt it to your style, to your inflection. And I'm going to tell you something, calling for sale by owners is kind of like learning how to dance. Like you'll have the beginning dance steps, but now you got to actually start using the steps and start dancing with your partner. And every dance and every partner is going to look a little different. And that's what it's like calling a for sale by owner. Now, the expireds, let's talk about that. They may feel rejected because they had their house on the market, it didn't sell. It's very unlikely in this market that there's going to be expireds, but some of you in some parts of the country are experiencing expireds. Some were going to feel like they lost their vision. They're so beaten up. So part of what you'll do with an expired is to breathe life back into that vision. The other thing about them, though, which is really cool, is expireds are like fruit. They kind of get ripe. Like maybe they were overpriced is one of the major reasons why it didn't sell. But now, months later, it's like it'll pop. It'll pop. And here's the other thing. They have also learned that the price that they had at the time didn't work, so they're more open to pricing. So let's talk about the expired dialogue. Power agents, this is in the prospecting tab, these sheets that you're looking at right now. I'm going to go over it a little bit here. Step 1 is you're going to identify, may I speak with Hannah? Well, hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? The reason why I'm calling is I noticed your house expired off the MLS, and I was wondering, is the house still for sale? If they say yes, you want to clarify, did you put it back on MLS? Because maybe you missed something. If they say no, it's not for sale, there's 2 questions to ask. Did you sell it? If they say no, you continue. If they say yes, you want to, well, is it in contract? Because sometimes they'll say yes, it's sold because somebody's interested, but they're not in contract yet. So you want to clarify that. Well, I'm looking at a copy of the MLS, Mr. Hana, and I'm a little surprised the house didn't sell. Why do you think that is? Now, that question is the segue question that will bring you into all of the other questions, right? That's a key one. That's the bridge, that very first question right there. And then you'll just go on and you'll ask the normal questions about where they're moving to, why there, and then you'll go back to the similar on how to get the appointment. Would you be offended if I just stopped by to take a look at it? Let me ask you a question if I could help you get to Florida in the time frame you want with the monies you need to make the move a success. Is that something you consider? So very, very similar to what we said with the for sale by owner. That, gang, is mastering the telephone. That's the dialogue. Let's talk about some bonus stuff when it comes to mailings. Some of you may want to not deal with the phone, but you want to work FSBOs and expireds. I'm going to share with you some mailings. Mark Fritchell was really good with using what we shared about mailings and promotion. That's why he went from 17 million to 140 million in a year, one of Prudential's top agents at the time. So Power Agents, what I'm about to show you, all of this, Power Agents, I have to remind you of something. The website has over 400 forms, flyers, and checklists. I mean, it's just a wealth of information for you. I'm teaching right now from the Farming and Self-Promotion tab and the Prospecting tab, so the things you're going to see come from both of those. And then when you go there, this is just a splattering of all of the forms and flyers that you're going to find in those two tabs, okay? So let me just show you a couple of them. For sale by owner, we have the for sale by owner rules, right? Where you can, listen, if you're gonna sell your own home, here's some things that you should consider and pay attention to, right? And Power Agents, you can customize these with your photo and your contact information. I'm not gonna go through all these. The concept is just dropping some kind of mailing piece. You wanna, if you're not going to call the for sale by owner, there's two things you can do. You can just bombard the for sale by owner with mailings and expireds until they either list with you or they tell you, stop mailing me stuff. The other thing you can do is you can do a few mailings and then do a phone call to follow up with him saying, Mr. Ms. Hanna, I've been sending you some information. Have you gotten it? So it could be an icebreaker too. The 6 reasons why your home isn't selling is perfect to have that kind of promotional flyer to send to an expired. There's another expired flyer that you can create, right? Let me help you. Here's what I can do to help you get your property sold in today's market. Now, I'm going to share this. This is so Power Agents, we got a huge gift for you I want to tell you about. And the guests, you can, I'll tell you how to get all of this. So all the guests, you can get everything I'm sharing with you. I'll cover it in a minute. We created a 40 some odd page guide. It's really so many pages, it should be a book. And it's the Home Seller's Guide to Real Estate, how to sell your house in today's market. It is one of the best pieces we put together. You can customize it with your contact information, everything else. Here's how you can use this guide. First of all, you can definitely use it with for sale by owners. You can use it as a door knocking gift. You print it out full color, front and back. You give it as a gift to somebody. You can put it on your website. You can do it for listing appointments. You can put a little link in your email signature. You can actually create an online lead generation. Let me show you what I mean. You can create have you ever seen this where people say, hey, here's a free report for you, fill out your contact information? You can create that using a software called Lead Pages. Now, Power Agents, we have a tutorial on how to use Lead Pages for you. You can actually create, this is an infographic we created for you guys to use on social media for people to go to your website, which is the Lead Pages, to download it. There's postcards you can do. So there's some examples of mailings that you can send out to FSBOs and expireds. Power Agents, when you go to Classroom, you're going to find prospecting, and then you're going to go alphabetically to Seller's Guide, and you will see everything that I just showed you. There's a video, there's the Seller's Guide, there's the postcard. It's all there under the S for Seller's Guide in the Prospecting tab. Here's another thing you can do is just do letters, as far as mailing. You send out, listen, dear Hunter, I saw that your home is no longer active on the MLS. If you're ready to try again, let's talk about it. So like I said, you can do a series of letters to expireds if you can't get their phone number. So there's a ton of letters there. So those are the bonus mailings. Here's the last thing I'm going to share, and then we're going to open up to questions. And I'm going to tell everybody how to just get all this stuff in just a minute. You want to get support to help you stay focused. I'm going to share something with you, gang, I use a story about how I heard about Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. It was it's the number one blood disease killer of children up to the age of 16. I love children. To me, there's so much possibility in their future. Anyway, this touched my heart. And I found out the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, you can raise money to help save children's lives. And they have this thing called Team in Training where they'll train you to run a marathon. So I sign up to do this thing. And if you can tell, I'm not into working out, or my idea of a good workout is I fill up my bathtub, I pull the plug, and I fight the current. To me, that's I just bought an iWatch to have it zap me to tell me to stand up and move around. So I need help to stay focused. And so when I was committed to raising money for children, I signed up to do this marathon, New York City, several years ago, 37,000 people. This is the starting line. It's just incredible experience. And it's just, in the beginning, people are moving you. And there I am running. You'll notice I didn't lose any darn weight, which was very upsetting to me. But I was the #1 fundraiser for leukemia that year in the whole state of New York, raised $27,000. And there I am finishing the marathon, 6 hours and 41 minutes, which is horrible time. But hey, I finished and I didn't die. But here's why I'm sharing this with you. The reason why I share the story about me running and finishing the New York City Marathon is because as much as some of you hate calling FSBOs, some of you, it ain't as much as I hate running and working out. That's not who I am. But I did it because I was committed to saving children's lives. So here's some tips I have for you to stay focused. This is what I learned from that experience. You have to, #1, have a commitment that's bigger than your complaining and concerns and fear, and make the commitment public. When you make it public, it holds you accountable. Schedule a routine. When we're learning to run a marathon, you know how long a marathon is? 26.2 miles. When you're trying to learn how to do that, you don't fit the marathon training into your life. You got to fit your life into the training. So you've got to have a schedule for FSBOs and have everything else in your business work around that schedule and that commitment. You have to have a support structure, because there's times you're not going to feel like doing the run or doing the calls, and get coaching from people who've done it before. I don't know if my next slide shows this, but don't run alone. You cannot do, if you want to have a breakthrough, get to your next level, you need people cheering you on. Do I have a picture of this? No, I don't. I have a picture of the people cheering people on this. When I heard about New York City Marathon, people were on the side of the road calling out my name. I have my name on the thing saying, "Go, Darryl, go, this is wonderful." You need those people to support you and encourage you to finish your what you're trying to accomplish and what you're committed to. So anyway, here's what we said today is get super organized, master the telephone, improve your listing appointment, which we're going to cover next week, Power Agents, and have a support structure. Now, those of you that are guests, we have a gift for you. So I want you to hang on, and we're going to open up to questions. I'm going to stay on the call for another half hour to help you guys. For those of you that are guests, I want you to check this out, what we're going to do for you. If you want to lock in the 47, you can actually try the Power Program for 30 days for just $5. And you have complete access to everything. You'll get the bonuses today. I'm going to show you in just a minute, and you can cancel anytime. And here's a brief overview of what the Power Program is. Every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, you can call in and actually talk to me, ask me questions. I coach you. I record it. It's part of the support structure. Power Agents listen in. You know, Deborah Slater, I don't know if she's on the webinar right now. She had just told us she's in California, so she wakes up at 6 a.m. to get dressed and ready to be on the call at 9 a.m. California time. Is it 9 a.m.? No, 8, 9, 10, 11. 8 a.m. California time. And she just loves it. It sets the tone for the week. We have these weekly webinars that we do for you. There's a plethora of the recordings of those. The Power Agent group is incredible that we have. The website is where a lot of the magic happens, because when you log into the dashboard and you go to Classroom, let's say, for example, you need help with farming, you click on the Farming tab, and then you will see literally hundreds of forms or flyers you can mail out, and they're all customizable. You don't have to learn new software. It's really simple. there's a favorite tab where you can, because there's so much there, we added this tab for you so that way you can create your own favorites. And instead of trying to find stuff, once you find it, you can keep it. And we have this search ability where if you type in FSBO, for example, there's all FSBO stuff, the dialogue, videos, training for that. And let's see what else. Here's the bonuses we have for you guys that are guests today. And you get to keep these if you decide to cancel before the 30 days is over. You're going to get an hour listing appointment, a PowerPoint that you can customize along with a video on how to deliver a listing appointment. I'm going to cover this next week, but you're going to actually get the recording. So if you don't want to come to the training next week, you're going to have a recording of it. We have this incredible guide that we put together on how to deal with multiple offers. This is a guide that you give actually to the homeowner if you're the listing agent, or if you're working with the buyer, you give it to them and explains what it takes to sell a house in this crazy market where there's multiple offers. There's also a new agent starter guide. If you're a new agent, you'll love that. There is the dialogues for FSBOs and expireds and other things, our 12 best dialogues you're going to get, how to set up a Facebook page, business page for those you need. Plus, you're going to get a copy of today's slides. You're going to get a recording of today. You're going to get access to our CRM. If you need a CRM, you can try that for 30 days. Box Brownie, there's a coupon for that. There's the 30 days of RedX. The value of this comes to almost $1,900, and you get to get it for just $5 today. You get to keep all of it. So that's our gift for everybody. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up to questions. If you want to become a power agent, I highly recommend you click on that little button that should be on your screen right now. And if it's not on your screen, go to that website, trial, do it now, because we don't know how long we're going to be holding this special for you guys. And let's see, what else do we have? Julie, so we're going to go to questions for people who have questions about either the program or about calling FSBOs and expireds.
Fantastic. You ready to get rocking and rolling?
I am ready.
Awesome sauce. Edgar asks, I don't have problems setting appointments. What I need to know is what to do after the appointment. Should I give them time to sell it on their own or ask for the listing on the appointment?
Oh my gosh, no, don't. I'm sorry. Edgar, don't do that. Don't give them time to sell it on their own, because one of the things you'll learn if you are a new power agent, you're going to become one, whatever, is on the listing appointment that I teach, it first explains to a FSBO how there's two prices on every home. There's the FSBO price and the realtor price, and a FSBO cannot get the realtor price. So if a FSBO does sell on their own successfully, they actually lost money, because they sold it for less than what you could have netted them. So you don't want that. So you don't want them to sell on their own, because they'll lose money. With you, they're going to net more, and you'll learn that through the program. Next question, Julie.
What if a FSBO asked, how can you sell it without me paying a commission?
Huh?
If a seller asks, a FSBO says, well, how can you sell it and it won't cost me a commission? So,
because it's what I just said a moment ago. They can't sell it at your price. They're going to sell it for less. I'm going to give you one analogy, and then we'll move off the whole pricing thing, because that's going to be a full training in of itself. If you think about anything that you would buy, car, clothes, furniture, there's always two prices on it. There's the private price and the business price. I'll give you, for instance, everybody on this webinar, I want you to go to kellybluebook.com later. And I want you to price out your car. Make believe you're going to buy your own car. Don't find out how much the car is worth. No. You want to make believe you're going to buy a car, type in your information, and then Kelly Blue Book's going to ask you, are you buying the car privately or from a dealership? And every single car you're going to find, the dealership price is going to be at least 5% more than the private price. And that's true in real estate too, because there's a concept, risk reward. A buyer is not going to go to a FSBO and pay the FSBO the same price that they would wind up paying if they worked with and benefited from a realtor. So they don't understand this. We need to explain that. Next question, Julie.
Yes. What duration is the Monday training session? How long? Monday training
the Monday coaching calls are live, and you can talk to me. It's not like this. You don't even have to use the camera or anything. You can just call in on the phone if you want, but you can also see me if you choose to. Those calls are scheduled for an hour from 11 to 12 Eastern time. But like this past Monday, I actually stayed on the phone until 2. Was it 2?
We run for 2 hours, yes.
Yeah, it was 2 hours. It was so 1 o'clock. So like I stay on as long as you need help. If I don't have another thing to jump to, I won't. So Monday is my day to coach power agents, okay? So that's it. Next question. There's a lot of questions about the training. Maybe we'll get those out of the way.
Yes. What do you
It's the offer, like Kevin is asking, is this offer only valid today? Right now, Kevin, it's really only offered today. It may be gone tomorrow. That's the plan right now. So, but you know, sometimes we extend it. So I wouldn't count on that. It's always going to be there. Listen, listen to me. It's $5. It's a good risk for $5. Have you wasted $5 ever before in your life? You know, this is probably if everything that I said was wrong, this is probably still the best risk that you can take. So don't dilly-dally, lock it in, because what's going to happen, I just want to clarify something. When you click on that button or go to that site, you're going to see everything listed here. And then when you become a power agent, you're going to get all this emailed to you in a downloadable. And in some cases, you'll get some other emails about it. So I encourage you to do it. Next question, Julie.
So I'm going to kind of combine a couple of questions. Does it include the seller's guide and all of the handouts and the things that you shared today? Yes.
So let me explain something about, first of all, everybody that signs up, they get a copy of the slides just so they don't have to agonize trying to find it on the Power Program website. So that's number one. Number two, if I go to the Power Program website, just to give you an example, when I go to Classroom, the seller's guide that I talked about, I told you it's in the prospecting. And when you go to prospecting and I go down to sellers, this is all alphabetical. Now look at all this stuff. This is just one tab, gang. Look at this. Okay. By the way, if you're a power agent on the call, do me a favor, do some shout out. Like if you say, here's what I love about the program, because we keep a track of the comments. And that's good, power agents, for you to become super VIP, super power agent of the month. But we like to know what you like about the program. So current power agents, tell us what you love about the program. Anyway, you see where it says seller's guide, lead capture demo. I'm going to open that up in a new tab. Seller's guide to real estate. Everything on the seller's guide is all here. And what just happened is the seller's guide is a PowerPoint. It's going to take 2 minutes to load because it's a huge file, and that's where you can customize it. But then over here, this is the demo on how to create the landing page for you to do this. So everything's here, but here's the most important thing I want to tell everybody. You see this little chat button, bada bing? There's a real team there. They're human beings. If you are confused and I go like, where is the seller's guide Darryl talked about on the somebody's going to hold your hand. What power agents will tell you in the chat, hopefully, is the support of my company is, I like to think, is one of the top in the industry. And here is why, because I don't know about you, but I hate it when I'm involved in a company and I need help and I can't call anybody, or I got to wait for an email to respond. It's crazy. It takes days to get help on something. So I made it sure in our company, we will not have you wait. If you need help, we're there for you, period. Okay, next question.
Lots of questions. Do we have to pay an extra? If we're already a power agent, is it $5? So everything is included if you're a power agent. So
if you're currently a power agent, you don't have to pay $5. It's all here for you. So it's all in the website. Everything that I taught on this screen here today, I mean, the pictures of me running a marathon is not in the Power Program. I'm sure you don't want that. But any of the dialogues and the things, it's all there for you already in the Power Program. And if you're confused where to find it, there's two options, gang. Number one is use the search button up top on every page. There is a search classroom. So if I type in FSBO, I will find everything related to FSBO on the site. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and there's older posts, it'll keep going, right? The other place is to just ask the little chat button. You say, Sarah, where do I find so-and-so? Okay. Next question, Julie.
Yes. Would you volunteer in an open house if they insist on not listing? In other words, if a FSBO insists on not listing?
No, you should not offer free service to have somebody hire you. I don't have attorneys that offer free legal. They don't go to court for me for free and then I hire them. I don't have doctors who operate on me. I don't have contractors fix things for free to win my business. No, they have to hire you based on your communication skills and your ability to have a listing appointment conversation with them to hire you. But you should absolutely not. I'll tell you, it's an integrity issue too. You doing an open house for a FSBO, and if I were a seller and I listed with your company, I'd be really ticked off that you're doing something for somebody for free when I had to commit a 6-month listing agreement with you. It's an integrity issue. Don't do that. Next question, Julie.
Catherine is a new agent, stuck with how to respond if a seller asks me how many homes I've sold. Boy, we hear that one a lot, don't we?
Yeah. So for new agents, about the number of houses that you sold, what you should do is focus more on your company and the value. I'm going to tell you one thing that homeowners don't realize in real estate. We interview the broker. We decide where we want to work. And if you're a new agent, you probably should lead with that, saying, here's a copy of my license. Here is a copy of my class schedule to get licensed. This is what it takes to get into real estate. Now, once I get licensed, I get to choose where I want to work. As a matter of fact, here's some letters or emails from other companies trying to recruit me. I chose Power Realty because it's the best company. Let me share to help my sellers sell their house. Let me show you why. And then you lead heavy with your company. Your company does this and and if you hit them hard with look at a great company I got, look at the great tools that I have, they're going to forget to even ask about how long you've been doing this because you did such a good job in getting them excited about your company. Next question.
If you have a buyer prospect for a FSBO, how and when do you handle the topic of compensation with the seller?
I'm sorry, ask the question again, Julie.
If you have a buyer prospect for a FSBO, how and when do you handle the topic of compensation with the seller?
You should never bring a buyer over to the house without first having a one-time showing agreement with that seller. So you'd explain here's what I like you to do first is tell the seller, tweak the dialogue, say the reason why I'm calling you, one of the reasons why is I'm representing a buyer and a buyer would like to buy the house. I might have one or two others, I'm not sure, but I'd like to see the house first, see if I can help you. Like I would use that to also have a conversation. I would still try and get over there and have a listing conversation and get the listing. Now, if I'm over there and I can't get the listing and no, bring us a buyer, say, all right, I do have a buyer who does want to see it. That's why I called you originally, but I do need to have compensation negotiated with you up front before I bring the buyer over. So then you'd have a separate form just for a one-time showing. Okay. And next question.
Is there a long-term contract? Is it easy to cancel?
With us?
Yes.
No, it's monthly. It's so easy to cancel. I'm sorry, I say it like that because you're right. I don't like companies that lock you in. Listen, if I'm good, I don't have to lock you in. If the program's good, you're going to want to stay. So no, our average student stays with us over 2 years, coming on to 2 years. So no, it's month to month. And if you don't like us any month, you fire us. You quit the program.
In your heart, though, we will.
We will.
Sora just signed up, is amazed at the amount of tools and information, but what's the best way to get started?
Yeah, and by the way, if you are signing up and you're still on the phone on the webinar, tell us, hey, I just signed up. We like to see that. That's fun. It's exciting for everybody. So where to start? Here's where you start. New Power Agents. Number one is we're going to hold your hand. In the first 30 days, you're going to get several emails and phone calls from us. We're going to get you up and running. That's number one. Number two is when you first log into the account, there's what's called the dashboard. And the dashboard is where the magic happens. And this should have happened by now. And it's going slow because obviously there's a ton of people hitting the website right now. So, wow, I've never seen it actually that slow. There we go. So here's what happens. There is this quick guide and tutorial. So when you click on here, this is great for new power agents. There is a quick start guide. I'm not going to click on it now because it's a PDF and it's a big one. There's this video that walks you through the site. There's the quick guide with hyperlinks in it. So we made it really easy for you. This quick guide page is for the new people into the Power program. Okay, next question.
Our agents are talking about how excited they are about the new directory. So that's exciting.
Oh, yeah. We love this new directory, gang. This is awesome. We're so excited. There's the directory for Power Agents for referrals and stuff. And make sure new Power Agents, you get in there and put your photos in there. There's a lot of people who haven't done that yet. Please do that because I'm going to tell you. And this over here is where people can look to see where you are to give you referrals. So you guys got to get in there and start editing stuff. Next question, Julie.
Nora is a brand new licensee, not affiliated with the broker yet. How will the membership be beneficial to a new agent like myself?
Well, listen, if you're going to have to pick a broker at some point, but as a new agent, you're still going to learn a tremendous amount. You won't be able to make phone calls or do some of those things, but I will tell you, you can look at the Power program like you getting dressed in the morning, right? So before you go out and hit into the world, you're going to shower and do your hair and pick out your clothes, and you're going to put out your best look every day, right? So the Power program is like that. Like at least you'll start to be able to get familiar with your wardrobe and start pulling things out that you like, because like I said, and that way you can hit the ground running. Like I said, this is incredible, this thing that we added for you guys. If let's say I go to farming and self-promotion, and now I want you to see this, gang. Look at how many forms and newsletters and flyers and promotional pieces there are. Now, all of these can be customized. And then there's letters. This is just the one tab. Then, all right. But here's what happens. If let's say you really like this. There's this postcard for the seller's guide. So let's say, now let me show you something else that's fun.
Darryl, jump in real quick on that too, though. The new agent, we do have a very substantial new agent guide. And in that, it actually gives you questions for asking your broker, how to choose a broker. So that's actually in that new agent guide as well.
All right, I'll show that too. So here, I just clicked on favorite and it just turned black. The top 100 reasons to use a real estate agent. So let's say I really like that one. I opened it up, I looked at it. There's a folder called favorites. Everything that I've clicked on is now in this folder that I just created. Isn't that cool? So it'll take from all the different chapters, because you log in, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, it says, Howdy, Sarah. So when you log in, this is your Power program with your files for you to work, right? And so you customize it. Now, the new agent, we have a section, because we love new agents, because they're so excited. We want them to win and succeed. We have a whole bunch of stuff for you in here. And one of those, I think it should be the how to interview the broker. Is that what you were saying, Julie?
Yes, it's actually in the new agent guide, the one that is one of the bonuses for today.
Okay, so the bonus today with the new agent guide. All right. Well, listen, we should put it also in that tab too, Julie, if it's not there. But you're saying it's in here when people sign up today. Okay, boy, the site's getting really, so there's a lot of people signing up, we can tell. So,
yeah, sign up looks great. Wendy, hi. Kevin, brand new Power agent, just signed up in California. Sarah, welcome. Phoenix just signed up. Leela. So we've got lots of new people.
Awesome. So what Julie said, gang, when you sign up the new agents, there's the new agent success starter kit, which is how to interview the broker, blah, blah, blah. So that's one of the bonuses. I'm on the landing page right now with all of your gifts that you're getting for the $5 and testimonials, people loving the program too. All right, next question, Julie.
Yes, there's a FSBO in the neighborhood around my new listing? Should I go after it?
Absolutely. Listen, you're not going to get them all. You know how you learn how to get better at real estate is by doing it. So be willing to fail. Like I said earlier, if you're nervous, just do it anyway, because consider it practice, right? So if you got that FSBO next door, knock on the door, call them, and practice on them. If they don't give you the appointment to give you the listing, it's no big. You just became stronger from the experience. Next question.
Do we try to secure the listing on an initial visit or a 2-visit process?
What I teach, and I keep saying I'm going to teach, I want to show power agents something. Next week, I'm going to address that. But I want to show you guys something real quick. Is you should try and get the listing right out the gate on the first appointment. And I will teach you how to do that. But I just clicked on webinars on demand. All of these webinars that we do, we record them. Do you see this one right here? It has the date, August, how to list 3 out of 4. This is the actual listing appointment. These are all of these hour trainings that we've done, and they're here for you. And so if you need help with, you're a new agent, we have that I recorded. You want to know how to get higher commissions, there's that for you. The 6 best strategies, the technology, that was an awesome one that we did. There's a lot of tech training too that we have. So anyway, first time, you should try and get the listing. And I
just highlight up there at the top where the dashboard is for agents, how they find their dashboard, and that's how they change their directory. And
okay, dashboard. When you guys log in, you see I'm logged in as Sarah. There's the dashboard. It's really small up there. It's up top. And when you click on dashboard, it will bring you to these panels here. And here's the classroom. Here's the coaching calls. The CRM, those of you that have the Power Builder CRM, this brings you the Facebook group. There's the directory. There's registering for next week's webinar, your profile billing. I'm going to show you something. Those coaching calls we do every Monday, we record them all. So, and then you can download them, listen. You see, there's the 2 hours. They're not supposed to be that long. I'm just telling you, they're supposed to be an hour. And you'll notice, if you can see in small print, there's not one that I stayed for an hour. It's like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And so that's that. Next question.
Oh my goodness, we have so many questions coming in. Does RedX send FSBO and expired information to more than one agent?
Well, yes, they don't send it. It's there in the account. So here's what happens. They don't create FSBOs. The FSBOs are there in your market. So what they're doing is just putting it into a format that you can find them easily, like it's given to you on it's there in your account. But yes, if other agents are in your county that have a RedX account, yes, they have it too. So
go get them.
Go get them. Call them.
Are the pieces easy to customize?
Yes, most of these items are PowerPoint. So let me see if I can show you the seller's guide one. Oh, there it is. Remember, I clicked on the seller's guide a moment ago. A lot of them are in a PowerPoint format because we found that the PowerPoint format is the easiest format for everybody. And this is the seller's guide, and it makes it really super easy to print out. I told you, gang, it is 43 pages, and I'm sorry it's taking a long time to load everything. You will not find a product like this anywhere. And some of what this does is it's helping me, helping you validate realtor to the seller. So a lot of this is drip and drabbing and saying, here's why you should work with an agent. This is where you can customize. You drop your photo in there. Here you can delete stuff. Oh, and that's the other thing. If let's say, so anyway, to answer your question, it's very easy to customize it. There's all the information right there for you. Next question, Julie.
Wonderful. Do you recommend getting geo leads?
Yes, if you're going to geo leads, it's going to cost extra money for you guys. Hang on one second. Let me just, and that's with RedX. RedX has the ability where you can download your farm area, and it's pretty awesome geo leads because you're going to get not just addresses and names of homeowners in your farm area, but you're going to get their phone numbers, their cell numbers, their emails when possible. So yeah, I recommend GeoLeads.
Wonderful. How do you feel about Storm Dialer on RedX for a new agent? Do you think it's best to start without it first and get comfortable with the dialogue, or should you dive right in?
That's a great point. I prefer you to get the Storm Dialer because it will. If you don't have Storm Dialer, then you have to manually keep making the calls, and every time. Remember what I said about speed bumps? So you dialing is a speed bump. So the Storm Dialer dials for you. So now that removes the speed bump. And studies have shown that agents actually make more money because they're actually talking, connecting with more people quicker, and you're having quicker conversations. You're mastering quicker. So if you can, I highly recommend Storm Dialer as well. Next question.
I love it. I have a buyer under contract for a new construction home. To keep her engaged and inspired while we're waiting for the home to be built, can you suggest some materials to send or activities for her to do?
That's a great question.
It is a great question. We actually, in fact, we're working on, our team is working on a contract to close for new construction and a contract to close list for regular residential. So those are two new pieces that are coming up in the month of November. So
we are.
Well, see, you don't even know what we're doing, but yes, we are. So LaTanya, that's going to be in the system, and but you can give her some suggestions too. I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah. So what I would do is, I think keeping the buyer excited on new construction is easy because along the whole process, the builder should be having them pick out choices of things and colors in their shopping. I know we were in contract to buy new construction, and there didn't seem like there was enough time between contract to closing on picking out. I mean, just picking out light bulbs was a feat because there's so many different light bulbs made in the world. And so there's that. That's number one. Number two is keeping them maybe informed about the market, what's happening in the community. There's several softwares that do that. I will tell you, RPR, Realtor Professional, what's it called? RPR, Julie, what does it stand for? Gosh, I always forget it. RPR, Realtor Property Resource.
Realtor Property Resource.
Realty or Realtor Property Resource, RPR reports. To me, those are the best, my favorite, because that will give you information about trends in the market. Also, joining the Facebook closed group in the community where they're moving to, they should join it, or if nothing else, you should be joined. And when you hear news about something that's happening about the community, you can shout out to them and let them know. So those are some ideas. Next question.
We have so many. Alon asked, she's a new power agent. Can she share this link so that some of her associates can get the same offer, the same $5 a month for the first 30 days?
Yes. Now listen, when they do, I'm going to show you something. So, sorry, I have too many things open now. Where is it? When you go to sign up, make sure they do this, right? So they click on there. So you can send them the link, the darrylspeaks.com/trial. This is what the order page looks like, everybody. And it just confirms everything that I just said. This is what you're getting today for $5. This is incredible that we're giving all that, because you get to keep this, all right? So that's our gift to you. But anyway, what I want to show you is, it says here, name of referrer, the email of the referrer. So what you want to do, power agents, is when you give it to your office, ask them to please put your name in there and your email address if they can, because we like to know when a power agent refers somebody, because then you get points for that in our company and you can become a superpower agent. You're a superpower agent, then you get a free one-on-one coaching call with me. It's just you and me for an hour on the telephone, and that's it. Next question.
Go on. Ardley asks, I hear a lot of talk about mailing lists. Do we need constant contact, or how do we keep our database together?
So if you don't have, so Constant Contact is not a CRM. It's not a database. Constant Contact is an email platform. Now you can keep people's information in there, but that's not, don't confuse it. Constant Contact is not a CRM. It's an email platform. What you need is an email, you need a CRM. Now, if you're a power agent and you don't have a CRM, we have a CRM for you. And the reason why our CRM is awesome, the Power Builder, is because, and this is optional, this is in addition to the membership if you need a CRM. Some of you have Top Producer, or some of the other ones, it's escaping me right now. But the Power Builder ours, all of our letters and forms are actually going into, and some of them are already there, so you don't have to import and rewrite letters. So it's part of the CRM. So Power Agents, you have a customized Power Agent CRM if you get the Power Builder. Next question, Julie.
Let's see, where can I find the for sale by owner letters? Those are going to be in prospecting in the classroom.
That's right. So I go to classroom and I go to prospecting. Everything's alphabetical, right? So prospecting here, and then the letters are going to be, they should be L. So let me go to L. So there you go. So letter. So letter, absentee owner, agent, agent referral, divorce, divorce 2, expired 1 and 2, expired listing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's all the letters, farming letters in there, FSBO letters, HUD statement. I'm not going to explain all these, but there's your answer. Okay. Now these letters, I'm pretty sure they're in Word. They're Microsoft Word to make it even easier. So that's not PowerPoint. Next question.
Does the CRM come with the Power Agent program?
That's separate. So I want to be clear about this. So you guys, I don't like talking I don't want to confuse people because I know this is a lot. So the first thing I'm going to just say is this. There's so much that we're giving you for this program. It can be overwhelming. So to not be overwhelmed, just do the 5, just sign up and play around for 30 days for $5. And then you'll start to learn. You'll start to see what the program has. Now, if you don't have a CRM and you need a CRM, then next month after the $5, you can do 30 days of that for free. And you can get a sense of what the CRM is and how it works. After that 30 days of the CRM, that is $49 a month in addition to the membership. And the reason why we broke it out separate that way is because not everybody needs a CRM because they have other platforms they're using. So we put that as separate. That's number one. Number two is our CRM, what we love about it, it does social media posting. It will post to Facebook and Twitter for you, articles that are from CNBC or Fox or Homes and Garden. You get to customize that. There's so much I could talk about the CRM. We don't have time. But money, that's the answer to that. Next question.
Can you go back to the trial slide for me, the bonus slide for me?
Yep.
So Maria's asking, is all this plus, is that extra? So those bottom ones there, the copy of the slides, that's not extra, that's included. The first 30 days of the Power Builder is included. After that, as Darryl just said, it's $49 a month. Box Brownie, there's actually a coupon for Box Brownie in the training tips and our tech tools and training. So you'll actually get a $40 credit, and there's also a $200 credit for Cold Directory. So that's not extra. These are just extra things that we're giving you. And then as Darryl said earlier, the Red X, you get the first 30 days of that, and the setup fee is waived. So that's just added bonus benefit to you.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to clarify that because we had a couple questions on that actually.
Okay.
Is it possible to be successful if I have a current full-time job?
Yes. The only thing is you can't do real estate is a full-time and a half job.
Right.
So if a full-time job is 40, real estate's like 60. So you can't do a full-time real estate and have another full-time job. So you've got to do part-time real estate. What that means is you have to do less. You can't do farming, self-promotion, FSBOs, expired, showing houses. So you have to slim that down. And as a matter of fact, we had a Power Agent. I didn't even tell you this, gang. Our Power Agents have my cell number. They can text me from time. I don't want to throw too much to everybody. There's just too much. There's a lot in this program. This is why we have, I believe we have in the industry one of the highest retention rates, because you're paying this much for that much value. But anyway, I had a Power Agent ask me that very question, part-time Power Agent. And I told her you should choose either building listing inventory or working with buyers, like do one or the other. And so my favorite is always focusing on getting listings, which means you don't show properties to buyers. You just prospect for listings. But if you don't have tenacity and you're not strong emotionally, because getting listings takes a little extra fortitude. If you don't have that, then just work with buyers. Okay. My phone's telling me, Darryl, stop talking, but I'm not going to. So, okay, next question.
Jeff asks if the CRM has a website included.
Yes. The CRM, let me tell you real quick on the CRM. The CRM has automated, like when somebody comes into the CRM, it'll send automated contacts to new contacts. It has how to stay in touch with old past clients. It has a monthly newsletter with your picture and stuff that goes out for you. They write the newsletter for you. You can do mailings, you can do emails. It has a website that's free, part of the $49, and it's really an incredible. The website alone is worth $49 a month. Then there's the social media posting that's included at the $49,000. That alone is worth $40. Listen, you got bang with buck over here at Darryl Davis Seminars. So next question, Julie.
The webinars, if you're a power agent, how do you get to the new webinars? And maybe we can let them know that we do have power agent specific webinars as well, brainstorming sessions. So we actually have one coming up in a couple of weeks. So you find that in your dashboard, Maria. So we showed that dashboard before. When you sign in at the top of the site, you see that little dashboard sign, and you'll see webinar registration. That allows you to early register. So, because sometimes our webinars sell out, and we believe that's possible. I know that sounds funny, but we only have so many seats. But we do have power agent brainstorming sessions, usually every month. Some of those are tech training, and some of those are brainstorming. So in November, we're gonna have a brainstorming one, and we're going to have a tech one. We have one that's getting scheduled now, where we're going to be talking about Canva. So at the end of the month in November. So, and those are power agent specific webinars.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay.
How often do you send letters to FSBOs and expireds?
Well, with FSBOs, you should send them every day. Every day. You need to hammer them because it's going to be a short. It's not like farming where you're going to email once a month to a farm area. These are people who are selling now. You don't want them to sell privately because they're going to lose money. They don't realize this. So you want to hit them every day. And they'll call you at some point. Expireds, maybe a little less, maybe every other day. But same thing. This is a hot market. Now's the time to sell, and they shouldn't wait anybody. Next question.
When I send it, Celeste says when she sends a letter, she has it customized with her logo and picture. Do you suggest mailing it in a plain envelope that's handwritten with a regular stamp, or a company envelope? I don't want them to just throw it away before they read it.
No, they won't throw it away. If really, it's about branding. The reason why you're mailing it is to brand yourself. So do not do plain envelopes. You should put your contact information on there. Absolutely.
Pam says, I've been a power agent for a long time, Penn Dammerman, who has. It's worth the cost of that Coke or the coffee per day that you're spending. At least one nugget each Monday, each Wednesday, in the classroom, the dialogues and more. Actually get way more than one nugget each time. Thank you, Pam. We've actually got a lot of power agent comments there in the section, so you guys can read that.
Cool. And then you got that other one right there, Jules.
Yeah. Can we keep all the wonderful information if we cancel?
Yes, you can keep all the wonderful information at $5.
But we hope you'll stay because this wonderful community. Oh, we didn't even talk about the Facebook community.
Yeah, I did mention it in the slides over here, but yeah, there's a closed Facebook group that is should I show it to them, I guess?
I love our Facebook group. And
I love our, I know you
power agents who are on the call. That Facebook group is just incredible.
The reason why Julie loves the Facebook group so much is because first of all, at the beginning of this, I told her I don't think we should worry about a Facebook group. She said, no, we really should. So she really pushed the heck out of it. But that's the real reason why she loves it, is because of the community and the love and the support that people get, questions that people and articles. And it's really, this looks like in real estate on Facebook, we have open platforms that agents brainstorm and stuff. This is not open. These are closed just to power agents. So we put hidden stuff in here, articles. The Monday coaching calls, we actually Zoom it at the same time. You'll see, look at the number of comments that we have there. So what happens is that power agents are actually answering other power agents' questions and the brainstorming. This is just from one call. This is the kind of activity that happens in there. So Some people say the program, the Facebook group is alone, along with the Monday calls, is so worth the monthly tuition, which is less than how much is it a day? I don't it's like what, less than $2 a day.
$2 a day, exactly.
So
well, and all week long, agents ask questions like Sandy there. They'll ask a question, how do I do this? And agents just jump in and answer questions, and you jump in, and so it's just exciting.
Yeah, she loves it.
Asks, after 30 days of sending FSBO letters, would you continue sending letters, or would you move to a different FSBO?
Yeah, I would. Well, I would, Simone. I would stop mailing after 30 days. You might even consider, if you do what I'm saying, mail every day. I would say even stop after 14 days. But you also want to have it automated, so you're really not dealing with it. It's being done for you automatically. It's sending it out, and then after 14 days, it stops. Chances are 50% of the time they'll call you. You can do a follow call, and that's the advantage of the CRM too, because CRMs will track all that for you as well.
Fantastic. How do I get a question answered on the Monday calls?
Okay, there's a couple of ways to do that, Maha. Number one is during the call, I give instructions on how to take yourself off mute. So now that's a little bit of a free-for-all, right? Because if 2 or 3 people take themselves off mute at the same time, I'm going to do it in order. That's one way to do it. And believe it or not, it's not that crazy. A lot of people are voyeurs and they're nervous to ask questions, so you won't find a lot of competition there. That's number one. Number two is on the Power Program website. I'm not going to jump over there, but in the classroom for coaching calls, there's a little button that says, hey, ask Darryl your question. And you click that and you can type your question. Before the call, that gets emailed to me, and I start every call reading those questions first. So that's a way to cut in front of the line, so to speak. The third way is on the Facebook group. So if you're in the Facebook group where we're streaming the call, you can type your question there, which is really the best because Julie reads your question, but other power agents see your question and they jump in and help you too, which is why Julie loves it so much. We actually created a logo. It's called the Power Agent Family now because it feels like a family. The other thing about our program that you should know is that our approach to real estate, we have a motto, and the motto is this: power agents don't sell people, we serve people. And power agents don't close people, we coach people. So we have an approach to serving buyers and sellers. So we're a little bit of a woo-woo approach to real estate. But what I will tell you is that we have the same results, if not better, than some other training where it's about closing and scripting and techniquing people. But our approach is more from the heart, less from the head. So is that it on the questions? It looks like that's it. Oh, we got another question from Maria. Go ahead, Julie.
If I have a question, can I ask you, even though I'm dealing here in Sarasota, Florida?
Yeah, Maria, it doesn't matter where you are in the country. You asked me a question. Real estate, it doesn't matter. Florida, California, Texas, and Maine. It's like this. If you learn how to play chess in Florida, and then you take the board and the pieces, and then you drive to Texas, the rules of the game are still the same. It doesn't matter what state you're in, and that's true about real estate too. So yes, I can certainly help you, even though you're in Florida.
I'm in Florida too, so there you go.
All right.
Awesome. I think we've gotten through all the questions and the coaching, and thank you, Darryl, for your time and expertise today. It was wonderful. Thanks to all of our guests for being here. Angela asked, do you show us how to set up our website with IDX? That's so we actually have had that question a couple times and I've answered it privately. The website that is included with the CRM does have IDX capacity, and our partners, our CRM partners, have a concierge service, and they help you do all of that. They'll help you load your contacts. They'll help you set your website up with the IDX. They're amazing. Their customer support is wonderful.
Awesome. Awesome. No need to say you're sorry. And read Richard. Richard, what did Richard say?
The sign up program percentage bucks is no brainer for this. Looking forward to learning. Well, we're looking forward to having you. Be sure.
Welcome, Richard. Who else? Listen, being that we're done, if you're still on the call and you signed up, do me a favor. Let me see it on the chat thing there. Just say, hey, I just signed up. I'm a power agent, or I just became a power agent. That'll be good.
That did that. Let's see. William Castell just signed up. Let's see. I'm going through the ones that are already published.
Oh, you can't go through all of them. All right. It's just that there's Dina. Yep. Oh, Dina Weissenberger. Hey, Dina, how are you? All right. That's somebody I know well. Okay. So good. Listen, we had a great time. Angela, thank you very much. Angela Oliver, she's signing up. Congratulations. Great idea. This will be the best investment. So I'm going to say goodbye. Julie's already said her goodbyes. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, gang, is that keep something in mind that I always end this way, that you and I don't, well, I'm going to add something. Number one is make sure you vote. I'm going to vote now after this call. But the second thing is we don't just help people buy and sell real estate. We actually help people get to their next level in life. This is a life-altering experience for people getting into their new home or selling their home. And what you do is make a difference in people's lives. So the more people you serve and help change their life, the more money you make. Money is a gauge as to how many lives you've touched. So go help a lot of lives. Thanks for being on today's call. Look forward to talking to you guys on Monday and next Wednesday and building a relationship and helping you get to the next level for 2021. Julie, thanks a lot. I see you got some chats. I'll let you deal with that.
All right,
everybody.
Darryl.